Thank you, Masters of Ceremony and distinguished judges. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
These are the tweets of my friend. March 31st, 2014. Tomorrow, I'll work harder than when I was a student. April 14th. I cannot have any holidays for 2 weeks for some reason. This is the end. June 11th. June 11th. Today I came home early. Actually, before 8 is incredibly early. July 22nd. I heard that one more of my colleagues became mentally ill. I've already heard about 3 people that are mentally ill. I'm seriously thinking about quitting my job. August 23rd. Today, I'll go to a hospital to get my mind and body checked. August 27th. I'm thinking about my life plan. My company is acting illegal, but I can learn a lot of things. How long will it take before I become a full-fledged engineer? November 30. Yesterday, someone suggested that I quit my job, so I started searching for the next job. After this tweet, he found his next job and started working this year, 2015. I think this is a happy ending, but sadly, this kind of story does not always close with a happy ending. It can be a tragedy, and you may face it in the near future. Today, I'm going to tell you about jobs and illness. Last year, while reading those tweets from my friend, I was thinking he should have chosen his job more carefully. So I studied about how to choose our job. I found that we can try some, but it seems impossible to choose the perfect job. No matter how carefully we choose, we cannot have enough information to choose the perfect job. There is always some possibility that your working environment is a hell. If a person works too much, that person will have brain and heart diseases. Every year in Japan, 306 people are diagnosed with brain and heart diseases because of their jobs. On the other hand, if a person receives too much stress, that person will become mentally ill. Every year, 436 people are recognized as mentally ill because of their jobs. You may think, let's decrease the number of companies that overwork. But I think we should not do that. That's because those companies have also some merits. For example, workers in those companies can grow up faster because they will do much more jobs than usual. Also, those companies usually have so many jobs, so they are providing many jobs for those who cannot find a job. That's why I think we should not destroy those companies without much thought. To summarize, there is a company that overworks their workers and those workers become ill, but those companies have merits, and that's why I think we should not decrease the number of those companies. In this situation, what should we do? I think we have to focus not on the whole company, but on each individual. Each individual has to do something so that they don't become ill. I'm going to talk about what we can do for ourselves to solve this problem. Now, I have good news for you. In fact, young people like you and me will rarely suffer from brain and heart diseases. Brain and heart diseases. Every year, among people in their 20s, only 10 people are diagnosed of brain and heart diseases. Sadly, I also have bad news. Conversely, young people tend to suffer from mental illness. Among people in their 20s, 82 people are recognized as mentally ill. The possibility is more than 8 times that of brain and heart diseases. If you will suffer from an illness because of your job, it will be mental illness. Your body is okay, but your mental will have problem. So the first solution is going to a hospital if you think you are receiving too much stress. In some cases, the atmosphere in your office makes it difficult to go to a hospital. In that case, please look up http://bktp.org. That website gives us a manual of how to go to a hospital in a difficult office atmosphere. If the situation is serious, please also think about quitting your job. Your boss may complain about going to a hospital. Quitting your job, changing your job may be risky, but those choices are much better than becoming mentally ill and killing yourself. We Japanese may tend to endure our stress, but please don't do that. The second solution is for your colleague. If your colleague looks like they are receiving so much stress, please make them go to a hospital. The criteria are strong mental shocks like working too long, complete failure, unable to complete tasks, or bullying by boss. Those mental stresses are criteria that are used for an acknowledgement of mental illness. If something like this happens upon your colleague, please try to persuade them to go to a hospital by saying that you may become mentally ill. Lastly, my biggest message is don't push yourself. Please don't endure your stress. And please say to your colleague, don't push yourself. Please don't let them endure their stress. The most important thing is not your company, nor your boss, but your life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sakamoto. Now, we will have a question and answer session. Ms. Yonezuka, please.
Okay, then thank you for a nice and very important speech, Mr. Sakamoto.
Yes.
Okay. Are you nervous now?
Yeah.
A little bit. Okay, let's move on to the question and answer session. First of all, I want to ask you the target of your speech.
My speech is for someone who will get a job.
Even if that is a university student.
Yes.
Okay. Then I wonder that after I get the job, I have to care about the system of my company or something like that. But what we can do, university students now, for this problem?
Now what you are asking? What you can do?
Yeah.
Well.
For university students, do you have any advice?
I think I suggest you to read bktp.org. And before you get a job, please know about how to go to a hospital in a difficult situation.
Okay. You show that workplace of BTV
BKD.
BKD. I'm sorry. Please tell us the example of the solution of going hospital.
Yeah. For example, you can say first you will tell your boss that you want to go to hospital, but if you can't, for example, make up a little lie like I fall down and I have to go to the hospital immediately, and no matter how your boss no matter how boss complain about you, you have to go to hospital. You go strongly. You go to the hospital by saying that something to your boss.
Oh, okay. Then it will be the last question. I wonder that some Japanese government will have it to overwork, because many Japanese people tend to die by callosis. So how about Japanese system to prevent this callosis problem?
I think the most effective thing is strengthen the punishment. Detect more. Japanese government should detect overwork, and actually Japanese government is doing now. So the Japanese government is now on the job.
Okay.
Did I answer your question?
Then